What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with my all tea, all shade, Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 4 review. Before I start, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to T Squad members Thomas Young, and Joseph Nubins. Thank you guys so much for sending me a little Cash App gift. Wasn't expecting it. But thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate any contributions and things that you guys want to send me. I very much um am thankful. So thank you guys so much for that. That was very sweet of you. Happy New Year once again to you all. Also, I just started a new Instagram page. The link will be down below in the description box. I'm doing a strictly fashion page with all of my fashion pics and makeup pics. So make sure you follow it. The IG page is fashion underscore killer 81. So make sure that you follow that page as well as my Keisha Irvin and Color Me Pink channel page as well. All right, you guys, now let's get into tonight's review. So me, Cynthia, and Mal go to yoga. You know, we trying to get it right, get it tight for this wedding. You know, we all gained the COVID 30. I might have gained the COVID 100, but whatever. You know, this is a no judgment zone here. You know, I like being a thickums, you know what I'm saying? Thickum boots over here. Cynthia, however, was not really feeling the extra added weight, so we all went to yoga. Kenya met us there, and them old bitches was about to die. They bodies was creaking and a cracking and shit. I didn't know if I was popping popcorn. We was watching Netflix. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but them bitches was aching and moaning and groaning and shit. Them hoes is about to die. So after class, Cynthia tells us that, you know, she's sad and upset about the wedding planning and how it's been so stressful. And Mal decides to start the bullshit and says, you know, I asked her a question and this is what set her off. So she's telling me and Kenya this. But I was there. So I was like, girl, you ain't got to tell me again because I was there to witness this shit. So she was like, you know, I asked her if anything happens with this venue where we have a second wave of COVID, would you still get married on 10/10/20? And then she went the fuck crazy. And we all saw how Cynthia acted. Like, she is really being a bridezilla when it comes to this whole wedding to Mike thing. I'm so glad that I got out of this throuple, like, and have moved on with my life because it's just toxic. It's too much. It's stressful. It's emotional. I just can't have that type of toxicity in my life anymore. Like, dealing with Cynthia and Mike is just, it's nauseating. It really truly is. It really wears on my soul. You know, I felt sad and depressed when I was in that relationship. You know, I just felt like I had a bunch on my shoulders. You probably all could tell in my review videos, I seemed kind of like weighed down by it all. Like, it was just a lot. And I feel so much freer now. You know, I really do. You know, new hair, new me. You know, I'm just focusing more on myself and not so much on our past relationship. It really feels a lot better being on the outside of it now and not on the inside of it, you know. But enough about, you know, that situation. I know you guys like to hear about it, but, you know, it's not about me. This is about the show. But anywho, so Cynthia says, you know, I just got a little emotional because Mike was painting a picture of, do you want the marriage or the wedding? And I was like, that's a picture you painted, ma'am. Because now all of a sudden you're like, if I can't get the wedding that I wanted, the wedding of my dreams at the place that I wanted, I don't want to get married anymore on that day. But you have been boasting about this 10/10/20 shit since he gave you the fucking ring, bitch. Like, is it about the wedding or is it about the man? And for me, and I was talking about this to Sheridan earlier, my good Judy, that I'm team Mike with this because it's about the relationship, about our marriage more so than about this big grandiose wedding. We can always get married, have a very intimate affair at Lake Bailey with our children, with our immediate family, mom and dad or whoever. And it's about us. It's about us committing our lives to one another. And then when the world frees up, we can have the big blowout. It's not like we're not going to be able to have that. And he's even said, I don't even care about that. Like, this is what you want. Like, and I'll get on the rest of my feelings on that in a second. So Mal says, but what did you say? Oh, I don't know. That's what makes him upset, and I understand where Mike is coming from with this. So King say, that's not a good answer. Why wouldn't you know if you're trying to get married? And Cynthia says, cause if we're not gonna do it where we planned on doing it, then I want to go back to the drawing board as a couple. Kenya says, no, you have told this man, no, I'm not sure, when you have told the whole world we're getting married on this day, come hell or high water. Cynthia says, he's hearing if I can't marry him at this place on 10-10-20, then I'm saying I don't want to marry him. That's exactly what you're saying. But okay. Kenya says no. And Cynthia says, then what is it then? And Kenya says, you want to make it about a show versus just being married to him on that day. You're saying unless it's filmed, unless the date produces a big show, you're now saying I don't want 10-10-20. And that's exactly what it is. Cynthia knows this very well. It's probably going to be her last season on the show. She wanted to go out with a bang. She wanted to redo the wedding, that she had with Peter because it was surrounded by negativity. So she wanted to go out with a bang. She did want that to be a production, and this was her storyline for this season. And if she decided, okay, let's not do the big grandiose wedding, let's just do something small and intimate, it wouldn't have been a dramatic storyline. So Kenya was right in what she said, and she put her on blast because of that. And Cynthia knew that that's what the fuck she was on. So Cynthia says that's not true. Let's just break the fourth wall all the way down. And the fourth wall is you're not supposed to talk about actually being on a reality show while filming. So Cynthia says, even if I wasn't on the show, and Kia cuts her off, was like, but that's not what you're doing. If you have committed to this date, then why aren't you doing it? And Cynthia's like, because just because, girl, shit, bitch. Like, she did not have no response. And Key was like, you don't even have an answer, because she knows she full of shit. And she knows that that's what she was pressed about. And my thing is, if she would have waited and did what was the right thing to do, especially in the climate that we're in with COVID. Thank God nobody has come out of this wedding saying I got COVID from attending Cynthia and Mike's wedding. But I feel like she rushed that wedding, and it showed. That wedding was very discombobulated. Cynthia looked to me like she was going through one of her thyroid issues because she was very puffy. She looked like she was busting out of both of them dresses. Her wigs were not glued down right. It was one wedding photo where you saw the lace. It was a mess. Mike's suit didn't match shit with her dress, the decor. She wanted that the wedding to be outdoors. It rained, so they had to move everything inside. Like, it was a shit show. And like, that was God's way of saying, you should have waited. You should have fucking waited. But you were so pressed to have this big, production on television, and this is what your ass got. So Cynthia in her confession say that is very insulting. The show didn't tell me I had to get married. No, they didn't tell you had to do anything. You decided that. So Cynthia says, just shut up and support me. Why don't you? And I was like, oh girl, snap into a Slim Jim. Are you hungry? Do you need a Snickers? Like, what is going on with you? Did you not eat before yoga class? Do you need a smoothie, ma'am? You need a nap? So she was like, now that you all have made me see how that makes him feel, I will go back to my man and tell him I will marry him on a sidewalk. And that's how it should have been in the first place, sis. See, that's why I'm saying I couldn't deal with Cynthia anymore. Like, it was just all over the place with her. So Kenya then apologizes for all the messed up things that she did to Cynthia last season and says that, she was in a bad place. And I'm happy that she once again apologized and that she is trying to rectify, almost ruining the engagement and then coming at her about her little Bailey wine cellar shit that she got going on. So Kenya meets with Kandi. And Kenya tells her all about, Cynthia and this wedding drama. And Kandi says, well, the last time she did it in the midst of brokenness. Shade, but it was true. But you see how people can take Kandi being shady over Kenya being shady, but that was shady as fuck. So, she said, so this time she got a little coin. She want to do it the right way without the stress. And It was so shady, bitch. So Kenya say, I feel bad about the proposal and how everything went down last year. I want to throw her a surprise engagement party next week, and I need your help. I want you to send out the invites and host it. And Kandi was like, sounds to me like you don't think that nobody will come if they know you throwing it. And Kenya was like, I mean, I'm cool with everybody except for like Porsha, and then the production show, Porsha, Tanya, Marlo. Like, don't nobody fuck with her or like her. But even with that being said, even with her throwing it, I would still come because this is about Cynthia. This is not about Kenya. But as far as Kenya and Porsha are concerned, Porsha was the one that started this beef all up with Kenya after the way she did Kenya last season. Kenya did not do anything to Porsha last season. Porsha drank Nene's Kool-Aid and decided to give Kenya her ass to kiss once more. She had no reason to start back disliking her. So this rift that they are in right now, let's not forget, is because Porsha started it with Kenya. Now Kenya is back on the boat and they back going at each other, and it's like honestly tiresome at this point. We have been dealing with this Kenya and Porsha debacle now for like 8 years. It's tired, it's late, it's boring. I'm just over it. I would have loved to see them come into this season being good girlfriends. And, because it's really now it's them against these new bitches. You know what I'm saying? These new bitches about to come and take y'all job. Y'all better link the fuck up. And I really like those couple of episodes that we got last season when Kenya and Porsha was cool, because that shit was funny as fuck. They were funny as hell together on screen. And sadly, Porsha had to go and fuck it up. But anywho, so Kandi asked, is she inviting Porsha? And Kenya was like, is this about Cynthia? She can come or whatever. So Kenya was like, I heard she was arrested again. And she make this face. And Kandi looking like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And she was like, she's putting everyone around her at risk by not having on a mask when she's protesting. And I was like, y'all walking around her with these fucking visors on y'all face that clearly can get COVID coming through the sides and underneath and all this shit. Like, that was a piss poor reason to be coming at her about the whole mask situation, because I mean, that's just dumb. I did notice how they took out Kenya saying to Kandi that she feels like Porsha is only protesting for basically the look and a storyline. To be honest with you, when I first saw Porsha out here protesting, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, is this genuine, or is she doing this for clout and for the television show? But even with all of that being said, she did something I didn't do. So how can I judge? How can I say anything when I didn't get my black ass out there and do anything out of fear and out of laziness and out of just not wanting to deal with it mentally, because I got a black son that I got to worry about every day of my life. So at the end of the day, whether or not she was doing it for clout, doing it for a storyline, she still got out there. She still made people aware. She still, put Breonna Taylor's name out there, and George Floyd and everybody else that was, slain because of police brutality. So she got out there and did stuff that a lot of us did not do. So you got to give her props for that, because she still put her life in danger by going out there and protesting. So if she did have bad intentions, that's something that she gonna have to rectify with herself and with God. But like I said, to be honest with you, in the beginning, that's what I thought. It still very well may be a thought that I have, that maybe it wasn't all the way genuine. I think that maybe in the beginning it probably wasn't for her, but somehow, some way it did become genuine. But only she knows what her true intentions were. But at the end of the day, she did stuff that a lot of us did not do, including Kenya. I don't remember seeing her out there protesting or doing anything. And if she did, I don't remember it. But maybe she did donations and stuff privately. Who knows? So Kandi, her confessional, says no matter how she's done it, she's doing it, talking about Porsha, and I agree. So LaToya name comes up, and Kenya say, she came over to my house and we had shots, so she could take advantage of me or something. You could tell they chopped it up and edited it, but it was something cute and fun, about them flirting with each other and possibly wanting to be scissor sisters. I mean, it'd be like fucking a twin, because they literally are the same bitch, but okay. So Drew and Ralph have couple counseling again. This is something that they have tried to do several times throughout their marriage, and nothing has worked, but they're going to try again. So the counselor asked Drew what would be her goals for their marriage that needs to happen right now. And Drew says transparency, genuine love for Josiah, her son, more peace and less anger. When she said that, I looked at the television like genuine love for your son. And I was like, whoa, what is that about? So the counselor says, when you say more love, what would that look like for Josiah? And Drew says, I understand there's a biological difference, but not only showing him how to be a man, but giving him that love, showing him it's okay to hug. And she says in her confessional, Josiah was 3 when Ralph and I first met, and he took my heart because he really loved my son, but it's very much that tough love. Josiah is very sensitive, and I don't want him to think that love Ralph is giving him is different from the other children. And let me say, firsthand account, children understand it and they feel that. I dealt with somebody who was around my child who really didn't invest that much into him, and your kids feel it, they see it, it causes bitterness and resentments towards you. And if he is being more tough on her son than he is the other kids, then that little boy will see that and notice that and start to feel like I'm being treated differently because I'm not his biological child. And even if you're seeing it as the mom that he treats your child differently, that's something that you need to look at for yourself. Like, why am I allowing him to treat my son differently? You know what I'm saying? To be more harsher on him than the other two. Like, that ain't cool for you as a parent to allow that to go down. You know what I'm saying? And your child isn't going to look at you like, why are you allowing him to treat me that way? Baby, let me tell you, I had to repent and apologize because, you know, I turned a blind eye in my own situation because I wanted the man so bad and I wanted the picture perfect family and a father figure that I, like I said, turned a blind eye to a lot of things that hurt my child. And I had to go back once the relationship was done and rectify all of that stuff and clean up, you know, my mistakes, you know, that I allowed in my household. So Drew better get a hold on that real quick. Or she gonna have a relationship like Ralph has with his mama. So meanwhile, when she made that comment, he was looking at her like, what the fuck you mean? So the counselor says, what would transparency look like? And Drew says, him saying, I'm going to the store, or Tampa, allowing me to know where you're at. Shit, that ain't even transparency, bitch. That's overall respect. Like, that ain't transparency. That's being a man and being accountable for your actions and caring about your wife enough to say, I'm going here, I'm going there. Like, that's just, girl, that's disrespect. So the counselor asks Ralph, what are his goals for the relationship? And he says respect and sex. And she looking like, are you fucking kidding me with this ghetto bullshit? So he was like, minimum 3 times a week. And I think that's being very conservative. Boy, who got time to be sitting on your dick 5, 6 days, 7 days a week when we got 3 children running around here? I got a broke foot, bitch. My mama in the house. Like, ain't nobody got time to be sitting on dick all day. And if that's your main concern out of everything in our relationship, you really need to motherfucking evaluate. 3 times a week is enough, my nigga. Like, I can see if we ain't had no kids, it was just us. I'm a mom. Like, I ain't got time to just be riding dick all day so you can get your jollies off. Like, nigga, bye. So he says respect would be someone not emasculating me. Drew tries to treat me like her mom treated her dad. And I was like, I do think the mama is a big problem in their relationship. And I do think that Drew needs to set boundaries between her mother and her marriage, because that mama is really causing a rift between them. And I think that what ends up happening is she puts her mother's feelings and opinions over his. And that's not good. You're supposed to honor thy mother and thy father, but when you get married, you're supposed to cleave to your husband and your wife. So the counselor says, how much truth is it that he saw your mom emasculate your dad? And she said, that's not true. I allow him to be the man that he is. I know he's not my dad. And he looking at her like bullshit. So he rubbed her shoulder and she was like, what was that? That wasn't even real. So it was kind of like when he did it, like, all right, girl, okay, because she looked like she was about to get emotional. So Ralph says, I mean, you look like you're about to cry. She's like, no, I'm good. And so the counselor asks Ralph about his history, and he says that his dad left when he was a child, and he had to become the man of the house. His mama wasn't very affectionate, and when he became a senior in high school, he told her, if you don't appreciate my help, then I'm going to go live with my dad, and I'll see how you fend for yourself then. So I moved out, and it was always just beer bottles in the refrigerator and no food. And so we ended up becoming homeless my senior year. My father got laid off, and so we were homeless. And then that's when my mama finally said that she was sorry. And at that point, that's when I realized one thing about Ralph is a take it or leave it type of guy. If you ain't on his wavelength, ain't on his vibe, and don't do what he say, he don't want to have nothing to do with you. He is very cold-hearted. He has a wall up because he looks at it like, if my own mama could treat me like shit, how am I supposed to trust a woman to fully love me and to be there for me when I can't even trust my own mama? And sadly, Drew is paying for that. The mommy issues that he has. He has, at that point with his mama, he emotionally turned off and has not turned his emotions back on since then. And that's where the narcissism comes from. The asshole behavior comes from, because he has put a wall around his heart. So, the counselor says, if I go back to goals, Drew, you want transparency. You say, I want him not to leave. When was the last time his mom apologized? When he left. So you leave. And I was like, oh, she good. She good, baby. She put that all together. He leaves. That's his way of getting her attention, to get her to see his side, or the fact that he's hurting, and to try to give her that wake-up call, but he's going about it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's his coping mechanism. So Drew says, but I just want to give him that love he didn't have, but I'm paying for everything his mom did. And one thing I did notice about Drew, though, is that she does negate his feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because even when the counselor said that it was a but, she didn't even take in what the counselor was really saying to her. So Ralph says, so I'm sorry. So as Drew is talking and she's crying, he got this smirk on his face, which reminded me a lot of LaToya Luckett's husband, that likes to feed off their mates being upset and hurting them. That makes them feel powerful, because the way his mama treated him and belittled him and didn't show affection, now he's doing the same thing to his spouse. And he gets off on it. He gets off on hurting her. So Drew is crying and says he's never working on himself. And the counselor's like, well, we just started. We can't go back to the past. And she was like to Ralph, you see your wife being emotional. What do you want to do? And so he holds her, but she kind of like stiff, like, nigga, get the fuck off of me. It wasn't even genuine. I don't like stuff like that, because if I have to ask you or somebody has to tell you, it's not genuine. So the counselor says, this is stage 1, but you have to do your work. But Ralph does apologize to her. It just seems like they're just not equally yoked. They both have a lot of issues that they need to deal with. Like, I don't see this relationship surviving at all. So Lauren calls Cynthia and me and invites us to a surprise party for Porsha because of all the activism that she's been doing. And she says it's only for the girls that they like. Shade right off the bat, bitch. And I was like, see, girl, this is why I stay in the house and don't deal with you hoes. So Cynthia asks, is Kenya invited? And Lauren was like, no. Cynthia says that she really wanted her to be her +1. So Lauren says, as long as she comes with good intentions, she can come. So Cynthia calls Kenya and got her on speakerphone. I'm sitting there eating a Lunchable, bitch, and listening to the whole conversation. And Cynthia tells her, thank you for the advice that you gave me. It's really helped, with my relationship. I've started writing my vows and everything. And I do feel like if we friends, I should be able to tell you, bitch, when you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? And Kenya gave her that tough love that she needed to hear. And I know a lot of people gonna say that Kenya was hating this, that, and the third. But that was some real shit that she gave her. So Cynthia then tells her about the party for Porsha, and that she was invited. And so Kenya throws shade. It was like, I wish somebody would throw me a party for all the stuff that I do. But you know what? I'll go. I'll just come briefly. And my thing is, Kenya, why would you even want to go if you don't even really feel like her activism is real? You feel like it's fake. You feel like it's not genuine. Why would you even want to go? And based off how she did you last season, I wouldn't give a goddamn about supporting shit that Porsha got going on. Fuck her after the way she did you. But once again, that's some fake fugazi stuff coming from you, because you should even want to fucking go. I wouldn't go. Glad she doing it, but I don't even want to go and be around her. No. So that was fake to me. So Drew and Ralph prepare to go back to his hometown because his father unexpectedly died from a stroke, which was really, really sad. So their relationship problems at this point have been put on the back burner, of course. So Tanya picks up Porsha and they meet up with Marlo. Porsha has no idea about the party that's being planned for her. Porsha body is back banging. Loved Marlo's little athletic, sexy leisure wear with her Yeezys on. Love those. Want to get them. Can't find them. So Marlo asked Porsha about Dennis, like what's going on between y'all, and she was like, we're broken up for now. And Marlo bets her that in 90 days they'll be back together. And she was like, girl, he been trying to get back with me. He be buying me Chanel purses every day. And I was like, well, shit, if I'm going to get some Chanel bags, I would have been broke up with that nigga. So Cynthia calls Kenya. And Kenya, is excited about the event because it's the night of. And she says, that she got Pilar this doll, this Rosa Parks doll for her birthday that she hasn't been able to give her because of COVID. So she's really excited about going and giving it to her and supporting Porsha. I believe that she was genuinely excited about giving the gift to Pilar because Kenya does have a sweet soul when it comes to kids. But as far as being excited about supporting Porsha, hell no, she wasn't no fucking excited. So Cynthia was like, okay, girl, well, that's cute, but Lauren just called me and said that she was apprehensive about you going, so you can't come no more, girl. And Kenya looking like the fuck. And so she's like, this is ridiculous. And then she turns to production, was like, y'all know about this? And they was like, nope, just learned about it. And she was like, you know what? This is some bullshit. All right, girl, somebody gonna pay for my hair and makeup or whatever. She was pissed the fuck off. So Kenya then calls Kandi and tells her to mention the surprise party for Cynthia because she won't be able to attend the event. And Kandi was like, why? What's going on? And so she tells her that, Lauren disinvited her and that she thinks it's a photo op anyway for the event. And she questions why Porsha is always getting arrested on camera and says that she's however going to send Pilar's gift through Cynthia. And I was like, once again, Kenya, if you got all this shit to say and you think that the party is for a photo op and you don't think that it's genuine, why did you want to go? Like, stop it with the foolishness, bitch. That's fake. I don't want to be around no hoe that I got the question about their intentions. So, like, I don't know if you just wanted to film that day because you need to check. Like, I don't know, girl, but, like, bye. Fuck Porsha. I wouldn't have wanted to go in the first place. Like, both of y'all are ridiculous to me at this point. You and Porsha. So, y'all the same bitch. One just dumber than the other. So, Marlo leaves the lunch early to go change and make it to the Porsha's house. Porsha's disappointed because she thought they was about to be some hoes and be out here in the Atlanta streets kicking it. So me and Cynthia arrived with gifts or whatever, with Pilar's gift and, a gift for Porsha. Kandi come in looking like a lipstick version of Rage. I was like, we're in the aphrodisiac. Is you going? So Fallon, the new girl, the new newbie, comes to the event along with Toya and then another newbie named Joy. Fallon tells them about, how many kids her and her husband have apiece. And Toya asks how old is her husband. She was like 56. And Toya was like, oh, I knew that. And Cynthia was like, why did you assume that? And Toya was like, cause you look like you date older men with money. And Fallon laughed it off, but Cynthia and Kandi was looking like this crazy bitch here. And Kandi, her confession would say, Toya is Kenya on steroids. And I 100% agree. I'm like, y'all think y'all phasing out Kenya ass shit. Y'all better be worried about this little firecracker here. So Lauren tells Tanya to bring Porsha on. Marlo arrives in a new outfit, because they asked everybody to come dressed in all black. Porsha arrives to the event and starts to cry because, she felt like, this wasn't even necessary. She did this from, the bottom of her heart. Kandi is feeling old around these new hoes because they all in their early 30s. And she was like, I know if I'm feeling old, Cynthia got to be feeling ancient in the motherfucker because she could have been all our mamas. So Porsha changes. I loved Porsha's outfit change. Love that outfit. I don't know if it was Versace or not, but it was super cute. So Cynthia gives Porsha the gift from Kenya and tells her that she really wanted to be there. And Porsha in her confession was like, nobody knows what's, how it is between me and Kenya. We don't even know. So at this point, I'm like, meh, when it comes to our relationship. And I think that's where they need to leave it at. Just be cordial. Stop trying to take digs at each other. Just film and just leave each other the fuck alone at this point because I'm sick of both of them. So Kandi tells them about the party and they like, what kind of party is this? And she was like, y'all find out when y'all come. So Porsha gives a speech and it was a really good speech. She got her Porsha Martin Luther King Jr. Malcolm X on. And Kandi in her confessional says that she's super proud of Porsha and so does Cynthia. And I'm proud of Porsha for what she did too, whether like I said it was genuine or not, because I sure thought that and still do kind of low-key think that. but she did the damn thing, so you got to give it to her no matter what. Overall, I give tonight's episode a B minus. It's starting to pick up, but the Peach Report Daily on Instagram had already let us know, because she has all the insider tea on Potomac and Atlanta, that the season wouldn't really pick up and get messy until they go on their first cast trip, and that's when shit starts to get real. So looks like next week episode is going to be pretty good. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode. What do you think about Kenya's thoughts on Porsha and the activism? What do you think about Toya's snide remarks? What do you think about Cynthia being a bridezilla? What else happened on tonight's episode? Oh, what do you think about Drew and Ralph's relationship? Do you think they're gonna survive? Let's talk down below. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys. Make sure you watch my behind the scenes tea video, spill the tea, and like I said, follow me on my new IG page, fashion_killer81. Love you. Bye.